Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7. Back hard at Graft now. Second holiday to Bulgaria in the books. Back home. We lasted 27 days. We lasted a Stevie fucking Taylor before deciding, nah, fuck this. Fuck this. Get back on that plane, take us back over there. So yes, now back in the UK, looking forward. The new football season gradually creeps closer and closer. The Football League starting next week, so it'll be nice to have a good fucking laugh when Sunderland get done over. Of course it will. And then the following weekend, the return, finally, of the fucking Premier League this summer. A summer that should have had definitely should have had a fucking World Cup in it. It's just gone on and on and on, hasn't it? And it's been quiet on the transfer front for Newcastle. Again, more players going out. Kieran Clark leaving Newcastle, as well as Dwight Gale. So again, we're taking care of business. We're doing the housekeeping. We are creating the necessary budget in the wage bill, the necessary space in the wage bill to be able to bring in more players. But yeah, a slightly frustrating lull in the signing of players for us. But look, after all these years of neglect and stuff, it's like an overgrown fucking garden. It's like a jungle out there, and it's taking time to give it a good tidy and a good sort. And fuck me, all of the things happening in Newcastle, when you sit back and you think about it with regards to the stadium, the training ground as well, which you could see during the recent game against Gateshead, getting some TLC and work done to it. When you look at the players brought in, we look at the players brought out. If you look at all the sort of top level, best in class, off the field people that they're bringing in, they really are laying good foundations. And I do expect Newcastle to be busy in the next couple of weeks. Sort of leading up to the first game and then leading up, to the end of the transfer window. I still expect 2 to 3 players, and if we bring those 2 to 3 players in, it has been a fantastic window. When was the last time we shifted players out who sort of maybe gone past the sell-by dates a little bit at Newcastle and need a fresh start? Great pros, I will say that. Fantastic what they've given Newcastle over the course of many seasons. And then look at the players that we brought in. Every single one of them top draw, top quality, and players who can have an exciting future at the club and who really help the club push on. And I still think this season we're top half, and I still think this season we're aiming for realistically somewhere between maybe 10th and 7th. A push to the Europa Conference League, something like that would be fantastic. Get those European fucking nights back at St James's. They are fucking special. For anyone who hasn't been to them, unbelievable atmospheres. To see us up against different styles, different systems, different players, different teams, different clubs would be great. And I think if we were to get into something like the Europa Conference League, why not go to win the bastard? Why not do it? This isn't the old Newcastle, this is the new Newcastle United. And I think anything is possible under this ownership. I've seen a few people grumble and complain. You just need to give yourself a fucking head shake and listen to the likes of Joe Linton coming out today, talking about training, talking about how the preparation and the mentality and the intensity is so much more better now than what it has been. So, fuck me, compared to a year ago with Mike Ashley and fucking Cabbage Heed in charge, oh, fuck me, we are fucking light years. We Star Trek now compared to fucking, the Dark Ages as we were a year ago. And I don't lose sight of that at all. I am very grateful for everything that they are doing and have done, for our football club. It's exciting times to be a Newcastle United supporter. This new season, we've got friendly games that are, sold out or close to sell out. This never happens. Season tickets, tens of thousands on waiting lists, a scramble for tickets all of the time. These are great days. This will be a great season that is ahead of us. I cannot wait for it to get going. The first game against Nottingham Forest, myself and Kyle, we're going to be there. Season tickets renewed, no problem about that. Straight away, done and dusted. It feels like many moons ago when we did all that season ticket malarkey and stuff like that. But hey, can't wait to be back. We've still got a couple of more friendly matches to go this week. We beat Burnley, was it 11-1 or something like that over the weekend, over a couple of different 11v11 games. So fantastic. It's great for confidence, but let's face it, it doesn't mean a great fucking deal in the great big scheme of it. But from the highlights, the club released some cracking cameos. Bruno, fucking hell, should have been X-rated. Should have put a filth warning on it before that came on, I tell you. The way he can move the ball and move with the ball, the speed, the intensity, the intelligence, he is a joy to watch. You pay your fucking ticket for him alone. He comes in, and there's like 5 or 6 Burnley players that can't get near him. He's that good. The ball control's that good. I cannot wait. I just hope and pray he stays fit. And if he's fit, he's in the team, he's performing, he's doing fantastic. Can't wait to see him. Elliot Anderson looked great again, and it's the old debate now. Do we loan him out to a championship club and get him week in, week out football, or do we have him and maybe have him on the bench and do like what happened at Manchester City with Phil Foden, and you have him in and you bring him in for a little bit, you take him out, you give him a little few minutes here, there and everywhere. I don't know, I'm really split on it. Part of me thinks, because I thought this at the beginning of the summer, he needs a loan move to a good championship club, so that knocked West Brom out with fucking Steve Bruce straight away. But a good championship move where he's going to get minutes guaranteed week in, week out, that has to be part of any agreement, I think, where he goes out on loan. Do we do a 6-month or whatever loan move up till January and reassess it then? Do we put a break clause in January for Newcastle to assess it? That is a distinct possibility, I think. But I would like to see him get some minutes because the boy's a talent. You just got to watch the feet. There was one of the highlights where he was hacked down at the end, and he's literally just beside the touchline, and he's taking on plays for fun, left, right, wiggling away, Pedro-esque, if you will. That's the Newcastle Pedro, by the way. Peter Beardsley. He's got the enjoyment of the game. It's you can see little bits of everybody, back down the years, like your Gazzas and stuff with him. He is such a talent. I'm so tempted to say, look, be greedy and keep him, but I'm trying to think about his longer term development, and I think potentially a year's loan out, he will be not knocking the door down when he returns. He'd be kicking the fucker down. I really do. So definitely one of the best things to come through Newcastle's academy since it's been a while, hasn't it? But certainly since probably Andy Carroll came in. Obviously different types of players, but you're talking about a player who comes through, will command a starting berth, has tremendous value to him as well, don't forget that. He ticks all the boxes. I can't imagine Newcastle selling him, by the way, in a month for Sundays, but I'm just saying he will be a valuable player for Newcastle. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Do we keep him and use him here and there and bring him on and protect him and develop him that way, or is he better served by having a loan out to a good footballing side, maybe in the Championship, something like that? Who knows, maybe even up in Scotland, would a Rangers or a Celtic be interested in taking him on a loan and playing him week in, week out? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Who would be suitable as well, because obviously there's certain teams in the Championship that just like to hoof it. It still is a very physical league. Then you've got your West Broms coached by fucking dinosaurs. You wouldn't want them going to somewhere like that. Ideally, probably the closer the better, so that he can still keep checking in with Newcastle. Let me know. Or do you think, no, fuck it, he should be in, he should be starting, or he should be on the bench? It's a difficult one. I'm really split and really torn. Brain and heart tell me different things, but it's just that balancing act, isn't it? But yeah, Newcastle back in action in Portugal this week, and then we've got that double header, haven't we, at home at St James's Park. Hopefully by then the training ground and all of that is pushed on a lot more, because Eddie's spoken about how the fact that is a little bit of a hindrance, a little bit of distraction. things in a little bit in a state of flux at the training ground, so it'll be interesting to see how far, how much longer, because I think when they started it, they said they'd be confident of getting it done before the season was starting, so fingers crossed that is still the case. I don't know that for definite, but let's hope that that's in the case. As for transfers and players coming in, like I've touched on before, we've been concentrating and working on Dan Ashworth's been moving on, players who have been there a little bit past the sell-by date. But there still has been news about positions and players that we're looking at, and it definitely seems from all the transfer speculation, the journalists, the ones that you respect, that right wing and attacker seem to be the most definite priority, and I can understand that 100%. We have been linked to quite a few left wingers, but again, you can play St Maximin on the right hand side, you can move him around, so it's either really. It's just whether you want him cutting in or whether you want him maybe trying to stretch the play a little bit and playing on different sides and everything. But yeah, we're getting linked with attacking wingers, shall we say, left, right and centre. Every day seems to be a different name, but the position, it's good to know that the position is being looked at. I think Miggy's done fantastic over pre-season, taking into account, and with the greatest respect of the opposition, that he's scored goals, but he's scored goals, he's got assists, and clearly a pre-season with Eddie Howe, he's following on from that fantastic form from the end of the season and internationally when he's been representing his country. He's continued that form on, so long may that continue. But I think the club, from all the speculation, are definitely after a right winger. We've seen the Diaby's linked. I think it's too much. I think it's great that we're going after these top level players in the Champions League and stuff, but you've got to do it in steps. When Manchester City took over, they were signing the fucking Sidwells of the world before they were signing the fucking Haalands of the world like they're doing now. And it's all about taking a step up in quality, and when you've got that step up in quality, in my opinion, then you take another one and so on and so forth. In saying that, we've got Bruno and some of the players. We lost out on Ekateke or whatever he wants to be called by going to PSG. But the fact that we are fighting at the top table for the creme de la creme, the better players, the best players, speaks volumes. They're not interested. They want to get Newcastle pushed up that league as quickly as possible, and that is fantastic to see that they are putting the club first. No doubt about it. But it could be that we have to take a little bit step down the ladder to be able to get those players in. Still be cracking players, but at the moment we're looking for the very, very top. We're trying to fight with the current established teams fighting in and amongst or already in the Champions League. So it's difficult, but Newcastle are persevering. There's names linked left, right and centre. We've brought to them all across the social media accounts of Magpie 24/7, so go and check them out. But yeah, there's definitely going to be somebody in there. And striker's the most difficult one to do. I think that's probably very evident when you consider that out of all the names previously, we went for Chris Wood from Burnley before on decent money. So yeah, it's going to be the most difficult one to do. The Broja deal, the lad from Chelsea who was on loan at Southampton, his name again today has come back up with regards to a loan move. And again, that could be smart because it frees up budget under the FFP, all that sort of thing, to put all of our money and to get that marquee signing in midfield. I know a lot of people out there will be wanting Paqueta for that role and stuff like that. But again, we'll have to see how it goes there in the middle of a takeover, which again, it muddies the water, and perhaps that is why we haven't made the signing already. I don't know. But difficult deals to do. But yeah, striker, he has been heavily linked. Again, all the names, all the speculations from the journalists, from the people who have the contacts at the club are all over the social media pages for Magpie 24/7. Again, it's exciting times because these players, we're not talking about fucking Cisco, are we? Bringing in on loan, and your Andreas Andersons, for fuck's sake, bringing players in like that, bargain buckets. Gallagher from Blackburn, players like that. We're not talking about that anymore. It is a much higher class of players. But I think if we can bring in somebody like that, like the lad from Chelsea, in on loan, bring in a good right winger. Like I said, we've been linked with quite a few now. I think that'll be a fantastic window when you add in like Botman and Nick Pope as well. Still interested to see who wins between Pope and Dubravka. I really am. And to see who's the other goalkeeper who departs, because my words, we aren't keeping all these goalkeepers. There's no chance. So yeah, Sven Botman, Matt Tattergate, so glad he's back in, looking sharp. All the lads are, to be honest, they look so much fitter. John Joe Shelby, fuck me. He's been away to Turkey. He's lost 3.5 centimetres. I think he's lost off his all that body size. I think he gave them to me whilst we were abroad. So thanks, John Joe. But I'll take one for the fucking team. Take one for the lads. John Joe Shelby. Yeah, he looks absolutely built, stacked. There's not a fucking millimetre of fat on him. He looks a man possessed. And this is the ethic. This is what Eddie Howe's instilled in the players, that total dedication, perfection. The standards have been raised so much. It's not kebab and a bit of garlic sauce. It's all about intensity, preparation, and fighting like cat and dog for a starting berth in the team. Everybody's buying into the project and everything as well. So it's amazing to see. There's so many options, and we're still being linked with potentially another central midfielder again towards the back end of this transfer window. And it's just like the competition for places, for so many years we have carried I don't want to say Deadwood, because it really is disrespectful. I read it in the Chronicle. I was like, what the fuck? It's not the way to talk about it, but we carried players into the squad who and you knew weren't up to the standard that we needed. Like I said, they've gone beyond the sell-by date. Sometimes it's just, there's a sell-by date, there's a shelf life for certain players at certain clubs that need a new challenge or whatever. We used to carry players like that, and then when players got injured from the first team, you were having to try and fill the first team with those sort of players, and it never ever worked. We don't have that now. We're going to have a squad that's absolutely brimming with quality for the standard of where we are, which, like I touched on before, is between maybe 10th and 7th with a push towards Europe. I think most Newcastle supporters would take that with a decent run in the Cups. Eddie Howe's been speaking about the Cups actually recently and saying he's going to have a real fucking go. Wants to get balls deep in the cup competitions, and that is fantastic to hear after our previous owners, the previous administrators, the previous custodians talking down our chances and saying they weren't a priority. To hear before the season started, before balls being fucking kicked, that they are desperate to sort out the cup cup runs is brilliant. I think the closest we got to a decent cup run and that feeling of excitement and anticipation around the place was probably when we went down to West Brom with the inflatable filth, if everybody remembers. Raced into a couple of goals. Lazaro scored, didn't he, in that game? We were there over that night, and that was a fantastic atmosphere. We were singing "We'll Go to Wembley" and all that. It wasn't to happen, but who knows this season? A decent cup run, a cup win, I'll whisper that fucker, would be absolutely fantastic. I keep saying every season, into my 40s now, and I'm still desperate to see Newcastle win that first fucking trophy, just as I was as a young kid back at fucking school and stuff. Still desperate to see Newcastle do it, and I do think now with the people we've got in charge who, you've got to be 100% behind. They've got the best interests of the club. I think we are so fucking close, it's unbelievable. So yeah, exciting stuff happening. Transfers coming in are happening. Speculation and mania is fucking everywhere. Players being moved out, a squad and a team is being built of real quality, and to be able to cover all positions and all different situations and injury crisis and suspensions and all that sort of thing. So happy days to be a Newcastle United supporter. Just finish off as well, St Maximum over the weekend had a few column inches where some of the other clubs, Spurs I think it was, Chelsea definitely, looking at St Maximum for £40 million. with some of the prices we've been quoted this summer and the Newcastle taxes, as it were, fuck off 40 million. Absolutely not having it. Personally, I want to keep the lad. Again, a pre-season with Eddie Howe, that extra fitness, that extra tactical instructions. Eddie's spoken lots from the end of last season when he spoke about what he wanted extra from the Saint, and you've only got to see the Saint over the summer working out on the beach, running up fucking mountains and all that sort of thing, racing fucking cars by running. He, again, I think he's going to come back stronger, more assists, more goals, more chances, more entertainment. When you come in, he's one of them players, it can be worth the entrance fee alone. He really, really can. And I know people will say, yeah, but he checks back in on his foot and he doesn't pass. I've seen a lot more just crosses and passing and checking out, finding where teammates are, picking out teammates over pre-season than I've seen for a long time. So I'm intrigued, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Alan St. Maximin. And for me, 40 million, you stick it up your ass. Not fucking worth it at all. When some of these other transfers are going for fucking double that. Fuck it. If we're getting quoted prices, we quote prices out the same in my book. I wouldn't be one who wants to sell Alan St. Maximin. I know some people have said, well, we'll only be 10-15 million off, Diaby, if we can do that. Is Diaby really going to be sold a Champions League, player? You're talking about wages for our current wage structure, as well, and I think it's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes, and I think you've got a player in Alan St. Maximin who's got the world, he's got all the fucking skills, the tricks, the everything to be able to be hugely successful. So I want to see that at St. James's Park. I don't want to be losing the likes of Alan St. Maximin, really, and especially this close to the season. Love the lad, think he's fucking funny as fuck, I really do, and I think he can have a great season. There's no doubt about that in my head. So yeah, let me know what you think about the St. Maximin rumours. Would you, wouldn't you? What you're looking forward to for the new season. Have you got your season ticket sorted? Are you counting down the minutes now until the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest? They said fucking Norwich. It's all this fucking getting back used to working and stuff like that. It must be melting my head or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, hope everybody's okay. In the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.